Ladies, gentlemen, and scum-sucking lizards, this is your pilot speaking. I am Owen Quillian, and I will be flying you through this Let's Play of Everspace. This game is brought to you courtesy of Rockfish Games and was officially released just over a month ago. We will be experiencing quite a bit of turbulence as we take one of these 3 ships through the demilitarized zone, where we will be under constant attack by outlaws, aliens, and every kind of space rock known to mankind. So what surprised me when I picked this game up during the Steam sale is that it's actually structured like a roguelike. I was expecting Freelancer or Descent or something to that effect. And like these perks here for the different ships are the main in-between runs upgrade mechanic. Like you wouldn't see it'd be like Rogue Legacy has that kind of thing. Binding of Isaac is a little more, you unlock stuff and get it. You also get blueprints to craft with, which is more analogous to Binding of Isaac. And we are going to go on normal mode here. I'm very confident I can complete the game in that mode. The game also has a surprisingly decent story for what it feels like. Like, I was legitimately surprised. Like, you don't play a roguelike expecting, or even like a Freelancer or whatever, expecting some grand story. I mean, as you can see, the game involves dogfighting. That's literally what we just opened with. Didn't take long at all for that to happen. And one major thing, if you do decide to pick up this game, which I wholeheartedly recommend it if you'd like a nice little game about dogfighting, and are a fan of the roguelike structure in your games, is that I am running a mutator, which is something you can pick up as you traverse your runs, and you might encounter a habitat or an alien depot in which you can collect a mutator. In this case, I know where every resource on the map is automatically. And the downside to that is I cannot see enemy health bars. So, like you might not have noticed in that flurry of exposition there at the start that those guys had no health bars. And that's kind of a big deal. You have weapons that are shield specialized and weapons that are not so shield specialized, as in hull damage weapons. And fortunately, my default weapon deals damage equally to both, so it's not that big a deal. This right here is a comm hub. It does what I was just talking about. It would show me everything in the system if I didn't already know what it all was. Anyway, I really enjoy it, and just as a fair warning, I might do some very sharp turns during fights. It might be a little wheezy if you're not used to that sort of thing, so after I already did some of that, but whatever. Each ship comes with a set of primary weapons. I happen to get a second primary weapon due to luck. You get to pick, there's a perk that you get when you upgrade that allows you to pick from a set of extra gear when you start a level. Those are mine, and I don't want to get too close to them. They are guarding a couple of nice Yumblies. Dark matter is very good. It upgrades. You build stuff and you upgrade stuff of the highest quality with it. So getting some of that early is nice. Anyway, so I am being attacked again. Hello. And I bumped into that asteroid. If I die, it's going to be from bumping into an asteroid. I pretty much guarantee it. I think those guys are just shooting at the corpse of the guy I was shooting at. I don't know. G and B is neutral. Anyway, so you have your primary weapons, which are bound to one. I can switch between them using one. I have the beam laser and I have the flak cannon. These explode when they get near a target, which makes them very good AoE. I very much appreciate having a flak cannon from the start of the game. It also does damage to the hull, which means I'm going to rely more on this beam laser just to burst through the shields I can't see. Your secondary weapons, which are these corrosion missiles, which I only have corrosion missiles in this case, are missiles. Pretty much everything is some variation of missile goes in that slot. And they are very good at doing a bunch of damage in a hurry. Most of them home. Some of them do not home, but do even more damage. The third slot, which is Energized Boost for me, are active devices. You have your Weapon Overdrive that makes your weapons better. You have the Energized Boost, which does this. It makes me really fast for a little bit. I'm trying to think of what else. Shield Disruptor, which instantly blasts shields. This beam laser is a different version of mine that automatically fires and is a little weaker. Or significantly weaker, actually. These glowing containers have stuff in them, but I don't need fuel just yet. The main thing pushing you to move on from a zone, as most roguelikes have, or some roguelikes, I guess like Binding of Isaac and stuff don't actually have an impetus to move on. Like the old truly roguelikes had like hunger and stuff. In this case, the Okar will be tracking me down after a certain amount of time. There's nothing else in this system, so I'm going to move on. The final slot, 4, is for consumables, which they can heal you instantly, they can give you damage boosts, limit damage, so on and so forth. This is the sector map. It's kind of like Faster Than Light, FTL. I can pick where I want to go, except I can't go backwards. In this case, I want to go to this service station here. I hope my cursor's showing up, I don't actually know. It's the third node on the top. Service stations let you top off on your hull and your fuel if you're having troubles in those regards, so I always like to head to them. This system has a jump suppressor in it, which means I cannot leave until I have gone and hacked it. And it looks like the jump suppressor does not appear on the map, which is an interesting side effect of my mutator. That tractor beam means I can be further away from stuff until still drag it in. But it does take below my targeting reticle. You can see that little green bar. I have a missile defense active system now, which I do have more trouble with missiles than I admit, actually. Oh, the jump suppressor is showing up. I'm very far away from it. That's very useful. That little whirly gig over there that says jump suppressor when I hover over it. Anyway, I need energy to fire, and passive systems like this tractor beam have an energy allocation. And the higher that energy allocation, the less energy I have to murder people with. Also, these orange little friendly buddies are from a mutator that summons aliens to help me. When they get close to a dude, they just start doing damage straight to his hull. They are very handy when they do deign to show up. It can get you out of some sticky situations. There is definitely a turret there that I was having trouble hitting. I can't miss those health bars being missing are confusing me, I have to admit. Alright. Going to pop this suppressor, and we'll be ready to jump once we're done looting the system. I can't overstate a major problem with this game. Before you have the modifier that I'm running, which I literally just got it, which is more luck of the draw than anything, is that you have to scour systems, and they're all kind of samey. I already finished mining that. There is just some ore. Like, I'd never know this ore was over here if I didn't have... Like, why would I fly out this far to nothing? There's a tiny piece of wreckage off over there. Eventually, you exit the system. Like, you hit the edge of the system. There's... Oops. I thought I had my energized boost out. Right, I was gonna... The story... I don't want to spoil it. In the least. See, it's telling me I'm leaving safe orbit. That compound was right at the edge of the safe orbit. I'm also... Something's jumping in behind me now. I saw... Okay. Against the planet, they're a little bit difficult to see. I don't want to go to them, so I'm going to wait for them to enter range, and... Any moment now, he'll die. There we go. Good stuff. the plot is where I was trying to talk, I think. And the characters, I really like Hive and I really like Adam Roslin, who are the characters you'll probably hear talking occasionally. He's the one that said it needs to cool down. Hive is his AI computer buddy. Let's see, there is one more, no, 2 containers. Delightful. Anyway, I got a new item, a weapon overdrive, which means I can do more damage. And active systems just eat your energy when you use them, so they don't have the same energy allocation penalty that your passive one. But the characters aren't great, and the end of the plot is both really good and really silly, but in a couple ways. But I highly recommend. I'm not going to tell you to buy it for the plot. Buy it because you enjoy the game. But don't dismiss the plot completely either. Anyway, I think we're going to try and get to the end of... Or maybe we'll try and do 1 sector per video, I think. The main reason I'm running this mutator is not to make it easier on me, although that certainly helps. But I don't want to... It actually does make it easier. I don't have to edit out segments where I'm searching fruitlessly for stuff. I can just go around, get everything, jabber while I'm doing it, and be on my merry way with minimal downtime. That crystal is way out there. I don't get where this stuff is coming from. I don't even have enough energy to keep boosting to it. And I have some kind of nervous tick where I use my middle finger to click the right mouse button when it's bad. Okay, this time I spent enough time for the OCAR to actually come. That's what that klaxon and that OCAR forces inbound me. And if they're on you and you're being shot, your progress to jumping out goes down. So you want to leave before they come in. You actually can take them out, but they just keep coming. They will just keep pounding on you until you're dead. Or you leave. And we'll get to visit a service station here. There is a... Like any good roguelike, there's a trade-off to attacking neutral parties. The G and B, Grady and Brunt fighters and such. And the first one is that if you attack their stuff... If you attack them, there's a chance that your attack will be reported. And this includes any kind of civilian station, like a service station. And those stations will be shut down if G&B is hostile to you. So like if you see a freighter of theirs that has stuff, you have to weigh, well, can I get enough good stuff to justify the fact they might be angry with me afterwards? And I have it set, I have enough perks that my chances are fairly low of that, but still, I have to consider that trade-off. We're gonna go to the service station last, because we're doing pretty good on everything, actually. I think I'll show you a bit about the crafting in this next, in episode 2, so be hyped for that. This has been... Okay, that was a blueprint. I have a few of those I still haven't collected. Blueprints let you modify and or build stuff using the crafting system, rather than relying entirely on coming by salvage. Salvage is still generally more effective. Like, you don't get exactly what you want, but you can only craft... Dark matter is a major limiter. Crystals also could be a limiter, depending on whether or not you're finding tons of them like I am. Each component requires different stuff. And, like, a lot of the missiles require plasma. Processors and compounds are very useful for sensors, I believe. Which I have no need for sensors, because I have a special modifier called a subroutine in this particular case, as I've stated repeatedly. And normally, I guess it's the fact I'm in low risk areas. Normally things are a little more interesting than this. Come on. Normally I don't have a whole lot of energy allocation. I don't know why. I guess I'm able to spend most of my time boosting rather than taking a moment to look around and deciding where to boost to. Anyway, like, pretty much everything I'm picking up, there are a few exceptions, but it's actually some sort of raw resource that will let me build stuff. I want to take a look at the star map. When you jump through a jump gate, which is what this last sector is, Brady and Brunt forget that you were mean to them. So I'm going to actually get what I want from the service station, then I'm going to steal all those containers that are on top of them. Did I mine this? Yeah, that's not a current crystal. I just missed. See, it's easy to miss it even when it's there. Yeah, we got some good stuff. Again, you don't want to smack into asteroids like that. I keep doing it. There are 3 ships in this game, and I think I'll go ahead and give those a rundown. The Interceptor is the jack of all trades. It can equip almost everything except a couple really specialized modules. I think it can equip literally every weapon. I think everything can equip every weapon, actually. It starts with pretty run-of-the-mill, easy-to-use weapons. I should go ahead and actually... I do want to... I'm going to pop my fuel. Credits are used to buy fuel and such, and like I can buy these processors, which I do want. You have a... On the right is what you're trading, on the left is what you're trading for. Compounds are less plentiful than ore. Okay, see how there are these 3 containers up here? I'm just going to yoink a few credits. Usually this almost always turns out not to be very worth it, but at least I didn't crash into anything this time. Like, I'm being chased by something, but I don't care. I can easily strafe around and avoid it. Alright. The other 2 ships are the Scout, which can cloak. Starts with a sniper rifle, which is a very good weapon if you know how to use it. If you're any good at aiming, in other words. And there's oh right, it can use a teleporter, which I think is like the Energized Boost, only instantaneous, which is convenient. This is a regular run-of-the-mill trader. He is always neutral to me. I think even if I attack him, like, he'll run away, but he won't care next time I see him, because he's a different dude, probably. Ooh, I can immediately refill my fuel, but I don't think I want to. Gas would be kind of nice, but not for power cells. That is the jump gate. I'm gonna go ahead and dig out this asteroid over here first. Anyway, the Scout is also naturally faster. I think it can only equip the small, quicker recharging shield, which is actually a little better than the big shield. The gunship has more hull. It can use more drones. Like, the other 2 ships can only deploy a single drone. One single drone of any type. It can't have multiple types of drones. It has turrets, which you can activate and will automatically fire on enemies. But it cannot ever equip a shield, so all damage you take remains. It will never heal until you use nanobots to repair. These asteroids can get a little bit complex. I'm not sure where that container is. It's floating over here in a corner. Scatter guns are like shotguns. It's a little bit better than a beam laser, which pretty much mimics my good weapon anyway. That is a GMB tech container. I want to go ahead and mine this ore and then go and murder those outlaws over there, I think. There we go. Oh, they're already fighting the GMB guys. Like, I should really let them kill him and take his stuff, although they probably won't manage to. GMB are much tankier. They're not a whole lot better at killing. They're less maneuverable, generally. But they do take quite a bit to kill, and usually the outlaws can outlast them. And this is a little outlaw base here. Has a drone server. Yeah, you see those guys scrambling out of that little hangar there. So I got myself a fight. The early enemies, especially when you're starting with good gear like I am, are kind of pushovers, I will readily admit. The missiles Usually, like the very default, you get different loadouts that you can start with as you progress through the game. The default interceptor has a pulse laser, which, like this, which is a rapid-fire anti-shield weapon, a Gatling cannon, which is a rapid-fire anti-hull weapon, and light missiles. Yeah, I'm just gonna pop this container and run, I think. There's probably nothing worthwhile in it, but they're not gonna stay mad. They can't stay mad at me. I probably should have waited for my energy to come back, but that's the other thing. Energize boost removes your shield, so I might take hull damage here. Alrighty, folks. That is a basic rundown of Everspace. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys in Sector 2 on the other side of the gate. Again, thank you for watching.